Hello, my name is Xean, and I am inviting you to take a look at my room. Well, let me start off by saying that 100% of the floor in this house is made of wood, so it's recommended that we have carpets, and every carpet has safety pads under it, so that way we won't scratch the floors. And I specifically picked this type of carpet because, to me at least, it has that wintry feel to it. But I don't know, it's my preference. I want to know what all of you think about it. And I guess I'll go clockwise, save the entertainment center for last. So first and foremost, yeah, I have 3 backpacks. That's the emergency backpack, that's the go bag that's supposed to go into my car, and that's my backpack that I put my laptop in. I live in the middle of Tornado Alley, so it's good to be safe whenever something like that happens. I might check the go bag and the emergency backpack in a little bit after this, so yeah. And right here is a printer which was given to me by my mom. It does still work, however, lately it hasn't been able to print out black ink, which gives me the impression that it's leaking black ink. I may have to check that out soon, so yeah. On top of that is a lot of assortment of junk. This is the most recent one that I just add on top, which is an IDE cable, which is specifically for the original Xbox that I have that's currently being modified. So once I get a few other pieces, then I'll put this to good use. And pay no mind to the little flowers that I have here. I found these at my job, and I have a niece and she's not in town at this time, but when she does come here, I think I'll give her all the flowers that I have right here. And I also found this at my job, magnetic rocks, so perfect for fidgeting. Measuring tape, this master sword puzzle that I couldn't solve, but my brother solved it easily, so yeah. A few books, the external hard drive I use to store my content, earplugs for whenever I vacuum the rugs, AAA batteries, my toolbox, because I do maintain my game consoles from time to time, Tupperware containers, which contain many cables, including HDMI cables, component cables, composite cables, VGA cables, as well as Ethernet cables, and most recently S-video cables. And this is just a junk drawer, but I take this out on occasion because this has quite a bit of audio equipment in here, as well as a webcam or two, as well as, here it is, another laptop microphone, which was also given to me by my mom. I kind of hope that she takes this back, since we do video calls on occasion and she definitely needs a good microphone. And here is where I put my video game controllers into. So this is the Sony video game controller drawer. This one is the Nintendo controller drawer, as you can see. Nintendo GameCube, Wii U, Nintendo 64, and the like. And this is primarily Xbox and Sega Saturn, and I did put an N64 controller here since there's no room in this one. So, and this is where I keep my Nintendo Wii U gamepad, because it used to go over there at the headboard of my bed, but there is no plug-in outlet behind my bookshelf nor the headboard, so the nearest plug-in outlet is behind the foot of my bed. So thankfully I'm not tall enough to hit this, so this will stay here for the time being until I find other solutions. Pay no mind to the Dr. Seuss books. As I've mentioned, I have a nephew and niece, and they're not in town at this time, but when they do come into town, I hope that I'll read these to them, so yeah. Behind here is the Nintendo Switch GameCube controller that I used to play Smash Remix on my computer, a pair of Bluetooth earbuds, and the first two capture cards that I don't use anymore but I like to keep. I like to keep any of the technology that I buy, so yeah. Alright, now let's move around here, and yeah, my bed, which has 4 blankets because it's cold, and one of these blankets is a heated blanket, so that's kind of handy. And a blue shell that I bought at a thrift store. It was only $10 because why not? And yeah, my bookshelf is pretty much full, so I can't put these there. So this is the Ultimania archive for Final Fantasies 1 through 9, volumes 1 and 2. There is a volume 3, which I believe has the works of Final Fantasies 10 through 15, but I could be wrong. But I'll probably pick that up soon once, no pun intended, I get the drive to go back to Books A Million, which is where I got this from, so yeah. Now I'm not going to show everything on my headboard, I'm not going to show everything on the headboard on my bed, but I'll show the ones that I do use on occasion. Except for those, I haven't used these in a while. They were like the CDs right here. I used to burn music and play it in my car, but my car has a USB plug and I use a USB stick to play my music, so these I don't use anymore these days. Same thing with the DVD-Rs. A few software modifications require DVD-Rs, and after completing those, I don't have a use for these until something comes up, so yeah. My Wii U is modified, so it uses an external Samsung SSD for storing the games. This is the PlayStation Vita TV, which unfortunately I don't have a use for yet. I'm hoping that I'll get a use out of this sometime soon. Chapstick, which I found the second one while I was rearranging my room, so yeah. An unused lint roller because I have a used one around here. My hand camera is in here, even though it doesn't work anymore. I like to keep it. Nail clippers, for obvious reasons. Gold Bond because the water here is terrible and I practically bathe in this stuff, so I'm never going back. So, deodorant, self-explanatory. Isopropyl alcohol because I fix consoles occasionally and it's always good to have this on hand. Many pencils, pens, markers, and all the whatnot. Eyeglass suitcase, and here's a funny story about some of these coins. Well, maybe one of these are not American coins, but back then I would rarely find these or accidentally obtain these. Like this one, for example. I went to a game store and they gave me a handful of quarters back, and I guess they thought this was a quarter. This is not a quarter, so yeah. It's been a while since I've last obtained a strange coin, so I'm not sure when will be the next time I'll find something like that. And now, all of this, all of my video games, DVDs, Blu-rays, and music, as well as a few books. So let's start from the top. I do listen to quite a few musics from either well-known, relatively known, or non-known artists. For example, Eye of Malion's Legend of Light, and Delane's latest album, Dark Waters, both fronted by the same composer. This is definitely the best album of the year it was released, which was 2022, and they're releasing a new album early 2026, and I can't wait. And the latest album of Delane, Dark Waters, which is actually a pretty good album every time I listen to it, so yeah, I can't wait to see what they have in store, in spite of the fact that they have a new lineup. I'm actually growing fond of the new lineup, so yeah. And I have a Sega Genesis Mini, which I have not opened yet, so yeah, it's just sitting there, looking all pretty right there. I'm not sure if I'll get a Sega Genesis Mini 2, who knows, maybe one day. And I might as well talk about these two right now. I've got the modern Game & Watches, the Super Mario Brothers and Legend of Zelda editions, which I've only used once. So yeah, they're up here. And I still, to this day, have the Storybook Edition PlayStation 4 version of Odin Sphere Lithosphere. Everything that was in that unboxing video is still in this box, except for the game, which is right here. All right. And let's see. The AR cards that I've got when I bought my Nintendo 2DS XL. And I listen to music, as I've mentioned, and this is the Don't Be Afraid edition of Larkin CL, which was a gift from my sister. And I forgot what was in this packaging since I've only opened it and ripped the music to my computer once. But I do know this was a collaboration with that Resident Evil VR game that happened in Japan, which features the members of Larkin CL. And take a look at this. Here they are, looking like normal human beings, but if you tilt it slightly, they're all zombies. So yeah, this was a gift from my sister, and yeah, I'm glad that I have something like this here. And behind Larkin CL are the NES Classic Editions and the SNES Classic Editions, which I should really open up the Super Nintendo and play more Super Mario RPG. I left off relatively deep into the game, so yeah. And right up top of it is a Roy plush, which was a gift from my younger sister. She surprised me with it, so yeah. And this Blue Jay was a gift from one of my nieces a long time ago. I forgot how she worded her question. It was either this or this that I want, and I chose one option, and the Blue Jay was that option, so yeah. Alright, now for the rest of the shelf, but let me put Larkin CL back before I discuss more of this. Alright, now for everything on this shelf. Yeah. I've been collecting video games since high school, and it slowly started building, only for it to increasingly build up since moving here. So yeah, from handhelds to home consoles, I've pretty much got everything except for the Nintendo Switch. But that's another story for another video. But let's go from left to right. So starting here, my Nintendo DS and new 2DS XL. Now this DS is a combination between my DS and my brother's DS a long time ago. I decided to mix this up, and it does work. The only problem it has is that the touchscreen doesn't work anymore, so I'm hoping to buy a replacement screen. That way this could be fully operational. And yeah, as I mentioned before, my new 2DS XL and my entire GameCube collection, including this one, which fun fact, Piglet's Big Game I bought, but well, I don't think I bought it. I think my parents bought it while I was in high school. At the time it was, I believe, $6 to $10, and now it's the most expensive game in my GameCube collection, which that's hilarious to think about. My entire Wii collection, including my copy of Metroid Prime Trilogy, I'm happy to still own it. And let's see here, my entire Wii U collection. The only two things missing from my Wii U collection is a copy of Twilight Princess HD. I do have the Wind Waker HD right here. And the last thing after that, well, I'm probably not going to get Twilight Princess HD anytime soon, but I do plan on getting a extended battery pack for my Wii U gamepad, just to make sure the battery life is a lot better than what it is initially. I also have a loose copy of A Boy and His Blob. I'm trying to find a good case and manual replacement, that way I'll put it finally right here. And underneath it is a box copy of Star Ocean Blue Sphere and the original Star Ocean, as well as extra cases just in case if I buy a game loose that doesn't come with a good case. And look at this. I had this phone for a short while during my high school days, so yeah. And now, the middle row, which I have very few PC games, including Rayman. The only 2 Sega Saturn games, Panzer Dragoon and Princess Crown. My entire original PlayStation collection, which I do plan on buying more. I do not have Crash Bandicoot whatsoever, but I do want to get that. Recently got Spyro 2. I do want Spyro 3 Year of the Dragon. But yeah. And I've got my Nintendo handhelds right here from Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, DS, 3DS. Now, these games specifically are custom game cases, which you can get from custom game cases, which they do the job. The only issue I have with them is that sometimes the aspect ratio on some of these games aren't correct when it comes to previewing what you're about to play, as well as the synopsis for some of these games. For example, all of this for Star Ocean Blue Sphere was taken from the Wikipedia entry of the game, and some of these aren't even finished sentences, like, while constantly being sent on missions into space. I remember the Wikipedia entry being a bit longer, so I kind of wish that they did their own worded synopsis, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, I'm glad I got these custom cases so that my loose games can be on the shelf. Okay, and my DS collection with 2 of the latest entries into it, Final Fantasies 3 and 4. And my 3DS collection, which is probably not going to get bigger anytime soon, since I haven't really played much of the 3DS lately, so yeah. Here's my Game Boy Advances, as well as the original Game Boy. My Nintendo 64 collection, which soon will have custom game cases of their own. I have a bootleg copy of Majora's Mask, which I put here to make sure that they don't fall over, even though this shelf in general is only leaning towards the right, so yeah. My PSP collection with a few imports, and my very small, practically non-existent Vita collection. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'll build much on the Vita anytime soon, so yeah, it'll probably be specific games. So my relatively small Xbox collection. Yeah, the Xbox is not my priority to collect right now, but if I do find a game at a good price and in good quality, I probably might pick it up, so yeah. And on the right, my entire PlayStation 2 collection, quite a few recent findings, including the Jak and Daxter trilogy. I do plan on getting Jak X hopefully soon. The final mix of Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. All of Ratchet and Clank. The Japanese version, the Japanese copy of Silent Hill 2. My PSP. And the handheld Vita is in here, so yeah. And let's see, and the main reason why I started this to begin with, the Xenosaga trilogy, which I do plan on playing Xenosaga Episode 3 soon. If you want an idea as to when I'll play it, check my channel's description. You'll see the list of games I plan on playing. And my PlayStation 3 collection, which I haven't really collected much of recently. I believe the latest one I put in here was the Journey Collector's Edition. But apart from that, I don't remember anything else that I put in there, but yeah. Got the majority of the Tales series, including the PlayStation 3 version of Tales of Vesperia. My PlayStation 4 collection, which I believe I'm done collecting for now. I don't see any other games out there that intrigue me. So, yeah, I've got Bloodborne, Grand Kingdom, Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition, Nier, all of the Sword Art Online games except for hollow realization because the disc art is missing on the disc, so it's probably unplayable, unfortunately, so I need to find a replacement disc for it. And my PlayStation 5 collection, which I do plan on building more of. I've got the Final Fantasy VII remakes, and the latest Star Ocean entry, the Divine Force, as well as another remake for Star Ocean, the second story, which I can't wait to play. That way I can see if it's a good version to play. I also have some manga, Chi Sweet Home being one. And I still have a box for the Action Replay 4-in-1 card I bought for the Sega Saturn, so yeah. And right down here is my entire music collection from relatively known artists, as well as indie bands. But I also have original soundtracks right here, with Star Ocean being the more prominent one. And I got this one recently. I'm glad I got this recently. So, yeah. And I also have a few board games, Catan being one of them, but this is still sealed. I haven't opened it yet because whenever I'm at a get-together, they bring their own copy, so I play using their copy. So, yeah. A stack of PlayStation 2 games I don't plan on having anytime soon or keeping anytime soon, so they'll be gone hopefully soon. The DK bongos that I still have. A bag of Game Boy games that are still loose that I plan on buying a case for. The absurdly long Ethernet cable that I haven't had a use for recently since Wi-Fi is slowly getting better. That's part of a hard drive that I took apart and decided to keep, so yeah. A few of the old TVs that I have. This is the one that I've used for the longest time up until Infinite Undiscovery, so yeah, I plan on cleaning this and making sure that this works, and then I'll potentially sell it, as well as that TV. That's a stand for a camera. I don't have a camera, but the webcam has an input for a camera stand, so I could probably use that. But now, my entertainment center, which has all of the video game consoles as well as the TVs that I use. This is the CRT TV I use to play old games, including my current Let's Play Final Fantasy IX. I actually got this from my sister's job. They had two CRT TVs next to their dumpster. This one and a big one. We actually have a big one in the living room that we have used a few times. I took upon myself and brought this one to my room because, you know, old games play better and look better on CRTs, surprisingly, so yeah. I'm making this a great investment. I'm using it for this here, so yeah. And my current high-definition TV, which was a gift from a friend. It was in great condition, came with a remote, and can do 1080p, which is perfect for me because I don't plan on doing anything higher than 1080p, so yeah, these are my Contents TVs. I don't plan on upgrading at all anytime soon, so yeah. And that's my PlayStation 5, which was a gift from my younger sister. And let's see, we got the motion sensor bars for both the Wii and Wii U. And as you see, there's the original PlayStation along with the PlayStation 2 GameCube controller and Chie from Persona 4 Golden. I actually got this 10 years ago at an anime convention in the hometown I used to live in, and they had a bunch of Persona merch, and a Chie figurine was one of them, and I decided to buy that because at the time I was interested in Persona 4 Golden, and I did like the character Chie, so I've had her figurine ever since. I think sooner or later I might sell this figurine, but oh well. If I keep it longer, then I'll keep it longer, so yeah. My PlayStation 4 Pro and my PlayStation 3 Slim with two PlayStation 3 controllers sitting on top of it. This one is a fake. I got this from a game store, but they didn't tell me it was a fake, so yeah, I don't plan on keeping this anytime soon. I hope to find an official controller again soon. The Sega Saturn along with its controller. Many of the equipment that I do use or haven't used recently, like I have my audio interface in a box, the webcam that I use whenever I'm live streaming, an old audio interface that my brother gave me. That's an HDMI splitter that I plan on using for PlayStation 3 games, an extra audio cable for my microphone, an old microphone that I found in a trash can at my job, and the old microphone I used near the half of my Let's Play of Xenosaga Episode 2. The Xbox 360 and the original Xbox with a portable DVD player sitting on top of it, as well as the original Xbox controller, the Nintendo 64, and I've mentioned before, as you just saw, the bookshelf is full, so I can't put these there, so they're here for the time being, but all of these are strategy guides with the occasional art book. So, yeah. Apart from that, that's pretty much everything that I have in this room. Now, I'm going to show all of you how I prepare myself when it comes to recording video games. So, see you in just a second. Alright then, I've got things prepared. My capture card is plugged in, and here's the preview for the game. I've got my microphone plugged in as well. The audio interface is sitting on top of the box underneath this table, and the program I use is Audacity. And one thing great about these two TVs is that they both have headphone jacks, so as you can see, it's plugged in so I can use headphones. So yeah, I'm in my own personal square right here, and this is pretty much how I work on my videos and whatnot. So yeah, and speaking of which, I'll be working on this video in just a minute, as well as record more of Final Fantasy IX. So anyways, that about wraps things up. As always, if you've enjoyed this video, hopefully you liked what you've seen, please do what you must. It'll really help me out a lot. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye!